Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel. Hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Alaskan bush people Raiven Brown leaving for Texas again. Alaskan bush people stars Raiven Brown and Bear Brown are expecting their third baby. However, with Christmas over and the pregnancy in its early stages, Raiven has announced that she is leaving for Texas once again. While this has some fans worried, Raiven said she has a good reason for leaving the Brown homestead once again. Here is what Raiven is going back to Texas and what it means for Alaskan bush people. Raiven Brown leaving for Texas during pregnancy. Raiven Brown announced on her Instagram account that she is going back to Texas. This is exactly what she did while pregnant with Cove. Although there was one major difference at that time. When Raiven left for Texas during her last pregnancy, which happened before Christmas 2022, she left Bear Brown when she did it. The two had a toxic relationship at the time. Raiven admitted that she had to leave him and things were not good between them. Bear had even gone to jail for domestic abuse, although that was before her pregnancy at the time. This time, the two seemed to be back together and strong. They posted a video on Christmas on Instagram on Bear's account and looked happy. This means Raiven going to Texas is not because of problems with Bear. When Raiven went to Texas during her pregnancy with Cove, it was not only to leave Bear but to go somewhere safer for her pregnancy. She has struggled during her last two pregnancies. Raiven posted on her Instagram stories that she needed to live closer to a good ER that could take care of a NICU baby. She also said it would put them closer to her family, and she revealed their landlord was selling their house, meaning Bear never did finish their house on the mountain. Raiven Brown is a high-risk pregnancy. Raiven Brown and Bear Brown had River and then tried to have a second baby. Sadly, Raiven miscarried that baby. Cove is their rainbow baby, but he was also a high-risk pregnancy. Raiven needed months of bed rest, leading to her delivering the baby in January 2023. She was then in the hospital for almost a week as the baby needed to also remain on a ventilator before they could come home. Raiven said in her Instagram stories that there is a perfect NICU to take care of the third baby if they need that. She said that they won't risk anything when it comes to the new pregnancy, and it is a 4-hour drive to a NICU where they live in Washington. They also don't have an ER that is capable of taking care of a NICU baby there. Finally, Raiven got a bit defensive when she said that she misses her family and deserves to see them as well as they are important as well. It is unclear who this was in response to as she wrote it on her stories, and not in response to a comment on a post. It also sounds like, from her comments, that Bear Brown is going with her. In the rugged expanse of the Alaskan wilderness, where the chill of winter grips the land for most of the year, there exists a family unlike any other. The Brown family, stars of the hit reality TV show Alaskan Bush People, have carved out a unique existence in the untamed beauty of the last frontier. Their story is one of survival, resilience, and the unbreakable bonds of family. At the heart of this tale is Raiven Brown, a spirited young woman whose free-spirited nature and adventurous soul mirror the wildness of the land she calls home. Raiven, with her fiery red hair and bright eyes that gleam with determination, is a force to be reckoned with in the Brown family clan. The Brown family's homestead, nestled deep in the Alaskan wilderness, is a testament to their self-sufficiency and resourcefulness. For years, they have lived off the grid, relying on their wits and the land to provide for their needs. From hunting and fishing to building their own shelters, the Browns have mastered the art of survival in one of the harshest environments on Earth. But amidst the rugged beauty of their remote home, tensions simmer beneath the surface. Raiven, with her restless spirit and dreams that reach beyond the confines of the Alaskan wilderness, often finds herself at odds with the traditional ways of her family. While she loves her kin fiercely, she yearns for something more, something beyond the endless expanse of snow-capped mountains and dense forests. It is against this backdrop of familial love and simmering conflict that Raiven makes a decision that will change the course of her life. With a heavy heart and a sense of longing for adventure, she announces her decision to leave the Alaskan wilderness behind and journey to Texas once more. For Raiven, Texas represents more than just a change of scenery. It symbolizes freedom, opportunity, and the chance to explore a world beyond the boundaries of her upbringing. With each mile that separates her from her Alaskan home, Raiven feels a mixture of excitement and trepidation, unsure of what the future holds but determined to carve out her own path. As Raiven settles into life in Texas, she finds herself enchanted by the warmth of the southern sun and the vibrant energy of the bustling cities. Yet, amidst the hustle and bustle of urban life, she can't help but feel a pang of nostalgia for the quiet solitude of the Alaskan wilderness and the familiar faces of her family. But Raiven is not one to dwell on the past. Instead, she throws herself into this new chapter of her life with gusto, embracing new experiences and forging connections with people from all walks of life. From rodeos and country fairs to late-night bonfires under the starry Texas sky, Raiven immerses herself in the rich tapestry of Southern culture, eager to discover all that this new world has to offer. Yet, even as she embraces her newfound freedom, Raiven never forgets her roots. In moments of quiet reflection, she finds herself longing for the simplicity of life in the Alaskan wilderness, where the only sounds are the whisper of the wind through the trees and the call of the wild. As the seasons change and time marches on, Raiven's journey takes her to places she never imagined and introduces her to people who will leave an indelible mark on her heart. And though she may be far from the Alaskan bush, the spirit of adventure that courses through her veins will always bind her to the land she once called home. Raiven Brown stood at the threshold of her small, cozy home, her hands cradling the gentle curve of her growing belly. The sun dipped low in the sky, casting a warm golden hue over the landscape, as if bidding her farewell in its own silent language. She couldn't help but feel a mixture of excitement and trepidation stirring within her as she prepared to embark on a journey that would change her life forever. Texas. The mere mention of the state conjured images of wide open spaces, rugged terrain, and a spirit as untamed as the wild mustangs that roamed its plains. It was a place of opportunity, of new beginnings, and for Raiven, it held the promise of a fresh start. As she locked the door behind her, Raiven took one last lingering glance at the home she had known for so long. It was a humble abode, filled with memories both joyous and bittersweet. But now it was time to turn the page, to step out of her comfort zone and into the unknown. With each step she took towards her waiting car, Raiven felt the weight of responsibility settle upon her shoulders. She was not alone on this journey. She carried within her the precious gift of life, a tiny heartbeat that resonated with the rhythm of her own. It was both a daunting and empowering realization, one that fueled her determination to create a better future for herself and her unborn child. As the engine roared to life and the wheels began to roll, Raiven couldn't shake the feeling of uncertainty that gnawed at the edges of her mind. What awaited her in Texas? Would she find the support and stability she so desperately sought, or would she be met with unforeseen challenges along the way? The road stretched out before her like an endless ribbon of asphalt, winding its way through towns and countryside alike. With each passing mile, Raiven found herself lost in thought, reflecting on the twists and turns that had brought her to this pivotal moment in her life. She thought back to the day she had first learned she was pregnant, a whirlwind of emotions crashing over her like a tidal wave. Fear, disbelief, and eventually, a glimmer of hope that had blossomed within her heart despite the uncertainty of her circumstances. For Raiven, motherhood was a role she had never imagined herself in, yet now it was a reality she embraced with open arms. She was determined to be the best mother she could be, to provide her child with love, stability, and a sense of belonging in a world that often seemed harsh and unforgiving. As the miles passed by, Raven found herself growing weary, the fatigue of her journey beginning to take its toll. But with each passing mile marker, her resolve only strengthened, fueled by the promise of a new beginning awaiting her on the horizon. Finally, after what felt like an eternity on the road, Raven found herself crossing the state line into Texas. The landscape stretched out before her in all its rugged glory, a vast expanse of rolling hills and endless skies that seemed to stretch on for eternity. With a sense of anticipation building within her chest, Raven pressed onward, guided by a newfound sense of purpose that pulsed through her veins like a steady heartbeat. She knew that the road ahead would not be easy, but she was ready to face whatever challenges lay in store with courage and determination. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting the sky ablaze with hues of orange and pink, Raven felt a sense of peace wash over her. She had made it. She had crossed the threshold into a new chapter of her life, leaving behind the familiar comforts of home in search of something greater. And as she looked towards the future, Raven knew that no matter what trials lay ahead, she would face them head-on, fueled by the love and strength that burned brightly within her heart. For she was Raven Brown, and she was ready to embrace the journey that lay ahead, wherever it may lead.